Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world, and thank you very much for joining me here today. It is the 27th of August, and we are going into a time of another time of massive change. I mean, we can we can say another time of massive change, but let's face it, we have been through nothing but massive changes in the past 2 years, and they're not stopping, not for a while. So we have to kind of, get used to walking on quicksand and get walking on, land that doesn't feel stable right now, because we are coming into a time of just letting go of everything that we knew, everything that we used to be. And rather than fearing this, we need to understand that it is actually about us blossoming into who we are, blossoming into all the truth of ourselves and how special we are. And it is a privilege. It is an absolute privilege to be here at this time, as scary as it can feel, as awful, as confusing, as difficult. The one thing that I kind of hang on to is that I chose to be here, and that it is a complete and utter privilege to help this world through this time, and to help people to step into who they really are. It is an absolute privilege. And, sometimes we look back and go, why did I choose this? In fact, I look back to myself 2 years ago and I kind of think, wow, I thought I was doing okay. I thought I was fairly spiritual and relaxed in myself and all this. And now I look at myself now and kind of go, yeah, she knew nothing. She just knew nothing. And I am sure in 2 years' time I will look back again and go, wow, that woman, she thought she knew a lot, she knew nothing. Because this is growth and it's wonderful. Good morning, Lorraine. Oh, you had no idea I was on. Oh, well, thank you, universe, for bringing you here to me. So I love your support. It's always invaluable in these things. So yeah, here we are, and we're stepping into the Virgo new moon. And I know that lots of people here will watch this on replay because you're on holiday, hopefully, and having fun, because it's the last bank holiday in the UK, and I hope you're actually enjoying the sunshine and having lots and lots of fun. So, new moon in Virgo. Now, I know when everyone thinks of Virgo, they kind of go, oh God, Virgos, perfectionists. They've always got to, have everything exactly lined up and all the boxes neatly put away, and you can't have any mess, and I have to be perfect, and life has to be perfect, and it can be a lot of pressure. And it's the same here with, didn't even realise it was a new moon. You know what? Nor did I. I completely forgot, because these days they just kind of disappeared into one, and it's hard enough to try and remember who we are, let alone what day it is or what's happening in the world, because we're letting go. And that's actually quite timely with this Virgoan aspect, because a Virgo will know precisely what time it is, and they will have everything ordered, and we are letting go of all of that and just becoming whoever we are, with all our foibles and our and our quirks and our wonderful personalities, because there is no such thing as a perfect personality. There's no such thing as a perfect life. They just don't exist. So you're sitting in the sun and enjoying this. Well, I'm really glad to hear that A, you're enjoying this, and that B, you're sitting in the sun. But we are just we're taught to be perfect, and there is no such thing as perfection. None of this actually exists. Even when they say, oh, look at a lotus flower, isn't it perfect? It really isn't. There is nothing in life that is perfection, because we're not supposed to be. We are supposed to be these wonderful wild creatures, having fun, making mistakes. It's like the perfect child who never gets dirty and clothes always clean. They're having no fun in life. Life is about just exploring and playing in the mud and getting dirty and doing all these wonderful, weird and random things that we did as children. This is what life is. This is how it's supposed to be. It's just playful and explorative. Is that a word? I'm not sure. So yeah, so I was writing some things down earlier, just having a chat with guides and seeing what the astrology was about. And the one thing that really surprised me was that they talk about this new moon as being a violent moon, and we'd better look out because there'll be anger and violence and hatred all around us. And I thought, what a really, really negative thing to read and to write about such an auspicious occasion as a new moon. And I sort of talked more about it, thought, what is this about? And actually a new moon brings in massive change. It wipes away what used to be, and it says, right, let's begin again. And when we sit in all of our pain, and we sit in who we were, and we feel the resistance to letting go of what we had, what we have, who we are, and it can then feel like someone else is trying to take away from us the things that make us us. And we can become quite resistant and also have a lot of sort of protection around who we are and think, well, I'm refusing to change. I'm refusing to give up. I don't want to let go of all the things that I have and all the personality that I have. And so I think that can bring up some anger. It's when we sit in this energy of stuckness, of not wanting to shift. I think it's then this resistance can bring up this anger and hatred, because we feel like someone else is trying to steal from us, someone else is trying to take away. And actually we've got to realise that there is no taking away, that this world is just incredibly abundant and it's all here for all of us, not just for selected few, but for all of us. And that any time we want to bring something in, we have the ability to do so. But this is a long remembering process. It's not with us yet. It is taking time for us to remember just how powerful we are. Good morning, Joyce. Thank you for being. It's lovely to have you here. So yeah, that's what I was looking at. And as I say, change is always, always good. Life is a constant change, right from childhood, right from the moment we're born. Life is change. And kids go, yay, change, exciting. And adults go, oh no, we can't change. And so this, I think, is why we become so resistant and so angry, because we fear it. And as I wrote, as the guide said to me, when we exist in an energy of the old, we find it hard to see the future, because our lives just become clouded by the traumas, the guilt, the shame, the hatreds, the prejudices that we carry from our past. We try and step forward when actually we're carrying such an enormous amount of stuff. And you can't race forward, you can't step into a future. They give me this lovely image of us trying to get through a door, but we have these massive bags, like a dog trying to get through a doorway with a stick and it goes the wrong way. That's us carrying this huge burden, and the stick is laden with stuff. And here we are trying to get through this door and saying, well, why can't I get through? What's stopping me from getting through? And we become frustrated and we become angry. But it's all our stuff that we are carrying that's preventing us from stepping forward. So we have to let go of who we thought we were, because who we thought we were is a lie. It's what somebody else told us we were. It's what someone else expected us to be. And actually what we are is far more magnificent, far more resplendent, far more loving, gorgeous, amazing, incredible than anybody has ever previously allowed us to be. We look at celebrities and go, oh, wow, look at them, aren't they shiny? I mean, it's all a facade. But there is this idea that they are stunning and incredible, and we're supposed to live up to their ideal. And again, that causes a lot of anger and a lot of hatred, because we see them, they're paraded as having everything in life, everything they could ever want. And we look at ourselves and go, I have none of that. I don't have all these spectacular things. I don't have all these jewels. I don't have all this, whatever it is. Actually, you know what, saying that, I do have all these jewels. because today I've got my little Prasiolite with me, and in my pocket I have a clear quartz, and I have all these wonderful stones with me. I have more jewels with me than I could ever possibly want. So it's all an interpretation about how we see life. What is valuable to us? What is valuable to you? That's what's important. It's not important what someone else considers valuable. It's all about you and your own heart. And there's no point trying to match yourself against somebody else. No point trying to be somebody else, because that just leads to complete misery and unhappiness when we try and mould ourselves into somebody else's mould. We can't. You are the shape of the person, the personality, the divine soul that you are, and you can't become somebody else. It's impossible. And when you start loving yourself, you begin to think, well, why would I ever want to? And so this, for me, is part of this Virgoan perfection. It's trying to match up to the standards of somebody else, trying to become the what we see in somebody else, the facade. But it is all facades. And we need to recognise this. And so stepping forward with this energy of the new moon, I wrote about decluttering. Getting rid of all the stuff that's preventing us from stepping forward through that doorway and into the splendour of the other side. Literally they're showing me that it's us in the darkness of one side of this door. And all we have to do is release our stuff, release all the complications of life. And as we step through that door, then you step out into the sunshine. You step out into the love and the light and everything that is just waiting for you on the other side of the door. And this reminds me that, it's tomorrow. Yeah, starting tomorrow, over until the beginning of September, there is a new energy coming and new energy flooding down onto the earth. And I was reading about this, and this very wise lady, and it was all about how we have literally held our breath. We've held it for so long, and we're so frightened of breathing out, because that would mean I'd have to take another breath in, and oh my God, what might come in might be worse than what I've just experienced. So if I take that breath in, come here. And that's the state we're in. It's almost this state of shock that we found ourselves in. It's like we found a certain stability. We found a certain level of comfort, and we've decided that that's where we're staying. And it may be, better the devil you know. It might be, well, it's not perfect, but you know what? It's better than what was. And so here we are, standing in this state that actually isn't joy. It's not happiness. It's not abundance. It's not anything. It's kind of just existing. And this energy is coming in, this amazing energy. And it says to us, it's time to breathe in. It's time to just open your heart, open your lungs, and just breathe this energy in. And to start breathing again with the universe, to begin to allow ourselves to move again, to be free again. And this is part of this letting go, a new moon letting go. Literally the day before we say this energy is coming in, that's no coincidence. So we really need to just allow the lungs to breathe again. And the lungs are the part of us that hold the grief. And so many people are grieving. I think we are all grieving. There's all a sense of loss, of trauma held within our lungs. And we so need to allow this to leave so that we can start breathing in the love again and breathing in the light that is here for us. We have to allow this to come through. So in the next few days, go out into nature, go out and sit with the rainbows, sit with your pets, sit with your favourite plants, sit up against a tree. And just be in nature, sit on the grass, feel that the energy of life coming through the grass, energy of life and growth. And just begin to breathe again. Exhale the trauma and the grief. And inhale this new love, this new light, this new air. Don't be scared of what's coming. It's time to bring this new energy in. So it's really, really important that we do that, that we get back to nature, that we get back to what we're from. You know, they're telling me, look at grass, look at plants. They have this wonderful cycle. And here they are, they're in full bloom and they're magnificent and they're beautiful. And then the flower dies, and then the seed comes, and then gradually the leaves die down. And for all intents and purposes, this plant looks dead. Now the grass looks dead. It's all hidden underground. But it's not dead. It's just waiting there. And it says, just give me some more light. Give me some more love. And next thing you know, this plant grows back again. And the cycle starts again. It never pauses. It never says, oh no, but I'm underground now and I'm safe and I'm going to stay here under the earth because out there is scary. It actually says, oh, but I'm going to go through this cycle again because I love being out there. I love change. I love living. We need to be like the plants, just recognizing this gorgeous cycle of life, yearly, monthly, lifetime. There are all these wonderful cycles, and we just need to go with this beautiful, beautiful cycle of life. And we can't grow unless we breathe. So really, really time to start breathing again. So that's that. So what else have I written? Let's have a look. It says we use this new moon energy to clear out, to release, so that we can then embrace change with a new and more open mind. When we're stuck in the old ways, as I said, it creates a resistance. It creates fear, and fear leads to anger. Breathing releases the resistance and allows us to come into change. So the moon represents the end of an old cycle and the beginning of a new one. What are you going to bring in this new cycle of 28 days? What is it? What energy do you want to call in? What do you hope for? It's all there for your taking, but you must make room for the new to come in by releasing all of the old. Oh, I've gone too far. Hang on a sec. Yeah, so breathing in the wondrous new light. Also thinking for ourselves. This is something we're really not being encouraged to do at the moment, is think for ourselves, to question, to ponder who we are. And this is so important because what are you going to bring in unless you don't sit down and ask yourself and say, well, what do I need? What does my heart want? We don't even know basically what we want to eat every day. How on earth are we going to know what we need for the next 28 days? Well, we can do it by sitting and listening to this beautiful heart, because this knows everything that we want. It knows everything. All you've got to do is listen. All you've got to do is just open your mind, put aside the things that you thought you knew about yourself, and actually just come in and listen. And say, what does it say to me? It's all we've got to do. The information, the wisdom is all there. So we have to live again fully. We can't live under the weight of the old fears and the old expectations of who we were, who we think we are. And this was, as I was writing this, they gave me a wonderful image. I was obsessed with Tutankhamun when I was a kid. My mum had this book about all the treasures, everything. And I remember reading that when Howard Carter first went into the first room, there were kind of, a couple of treasures, that was it. And they thought, wow, this is amazing. And then he moved some furniture aside and he saw a doorway that had been closed. And it's when he opened that doorway that he went through and he found the real treasure. And this is exactly what the guides were telling me. We have to push past this doorway. We have to allow ourselves to move forward again. We have to be brave enough to explore and go into that other room, because that's where our treasures lie. We have become used to just being in this one space and thinking, well, this is all I am. You're not this big. That's not it. This is not the extent of your life. When you push through, when you go into that next arena, that next part of yourself, then you go into a space that is so magnificent, where the treasures of who you are really exist. And it won't just be that room, there'll be another room after that and another room, because we are so expansive. We can just grow into the most incredible beings that we can't even imagine right now. That's what's so amazing, is that our imagination is so limited that the way we see ourselves and what we can do is tiny. And we can't even yet imagine the breadth of our wisdom, of our talents, of our gifts, of our love. We can't even imagine, but we have to take that step forward into that new room, or we're never going to change. So yeah, expanding into our truth, letting go of all the junk that's keeping us small, letting go of all the ideas that we have, that we've taken on. And especially in the past 2 years, we've taken on so much junk. We have to let all of that go so that we can expand. Can't take it forward. And the new moon's teaching us, if we allow it to, it's teaching us what is important in our lives. And Virgo, I read this, I didn't know this. Virgo represents the divine feminine. Oh, what extraordinary coincidences. Here we are, stepping into a new energy, the divine feminine, Virgo helping us let go of all that was. What a time! What a beautiful time. So we have to start with ourselves. We want to help other people because human nature tells us to help each other. It is part of human nature. That's why the last 2 years was so tough, because we wanted to help others, but the rules said we couldn't. And that went against our very own nature to help others. So we start with ourselves. And when we step into who we are, then we can begin to help others step into who they fully are. So the divine goddess asks us to embrace all that we are, to love ourselves, to love every single aspect of ourselves, not just the bits we like, but all of us. You know, all the physical stuff, all the lumpy, bumpy, wrinkly physical stuff, all of the foibles that we have, all of our character twerks, everything. We want to love all of it and to love the entire journey of our soul. And to help us do this, we've had a new energy come through. Can I say it right this time? Aldebaran. Yay! The beautiful white beings from Aldebaran have come through. They're apparently called the Hyadians. And I can't pronounce their names, but the love that they bring is, oh my God, it's so stable. It is literally like a rock of love. And it comes in and it says, we're not going anywhere. Because what we need as we change is we need a stable platform. And this energy that's coming in from the Aldebaran planet is such an incredibly stable platform of love. It literally will not go anywhere. It's quite extraordinary and so beautiful. And I hope that it will come down while we do light language today, because it's, oh yeah, here it is. Okay. My feet have suddenly rooted to the ground in love. And it just allows us to go through all manner of change, because we literally are rooted in love. And it's stunning. So I really hope that you will embrace this energy and feel it, really feel it in your body. You know, to hold the love steady so that we have a truly stable platform as we allow the changes to come. And they reminded me that it's it's like a teenager. What was the phrase I read? A teenager needs the benign neglect of their parents. In other words, they know they're completely safe, which allows them then to go out and explore the world, because they know that no matter what they do, somebody at home will care for them and love them. And this is kind of, for me, this is what Aldebaran says to me, is that go explore the world, because no matter what happens, there is this rock solid platform of love upon which you can stand, and we will not let you down. And I just think that's so beautiful and such an incredible gift to us at this time, just when we're trying to change and grow and let go of who we thought we were. So I am so grateful they're here. Now, it's time to have a look, as usual, at the cards. And this time I have chosen this pack, the Star Seed Oracle. They're absolutely gorgeous, just the most divine pastel-y colours. Absolutely love them. So we had a look at the 3 cards that resonate to this new moon. And the first one is weight of the world, boundaries, let it go, it's not yours to carry. Now, isn't that perfect? It's not yours to carry. None of it. You're not here to carry somebody else's stuff. You're not here to carry your stuff. You can literally let it go. We are not defined by our pains, by our old stuff. This doesn't define us. It is our love that defines us. It is our light. This is what defines us. This is what makes us. And we have to let go of everything that we thought we were, so that we can release the weight of the world, and then we can step forward into who we are. I hope the dog barking didn't disturb you, by the way. So yeah, let go of everything. Then we have lifting the veil. Okay, see that beautiful one? Questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. Are you getting the message? I hope so. Anything that doesn't belong to us, anything that is not ours, needs to go. It just has to disappear. So we are peeking behind the curtain and seeing our possibilities, seeing the glorious wonder of who we are, of who we can be, really be. You know, I'm being given this vision of, partly from this picture, of just all these stars and how our DNA is actually star-filled. You know, when you look, I've seen some pictures of kind of DNA, and it looks like mini cosmoses. It looks like the universe. It's incredible. So literally we are the stars, and we can shine as brightly as they do. And then the third card is the Whale and Orca Elders. Okay, and share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. And as I said, it's diving deep into who we are, diving deeply into our capabilities, diving deeply into our love, and not being frightened of the amount of love that we feel. You know, some people get really scared of diving deeply into their emotions because they think it's going to hurt. And I understand that. You know, I do. There are times when I've said, I don't want to love, because it will hurt. And yes, when I've started opening my heart again, it's hurt. But then when I really opened my heart, it just wiped away all the pain. It wiped away everything. So the only thing that was left was love. Nothing else. And so diving deep into the truth of who we are and uncovering that magnificent self. Yes, it can hurt as we look back and we say, oh my God, look what I believed about myself. Look at the, you know, I'm so sad that I ever blamed myself for this. I'm so sad that I ever took on all these lies and this untruth that other people have given me. But we have to get past that, and we have to come in once again just to the love of who we are that sits at the centre of our being. This is what we have to come back to, because this is the only truth, and this is the truth that they tried to keep from us for so long by making us feel guilty and small and sinful. This is what they took from us. And now, as we step through that door, we step through that bridge, we are reclaiming everything that we are and every part of ourselves, and rebuilding your cosmos and reclaiming all your stars and bringing them in. And it's the most wonderful and fantastic journey. I am so excited by this thought that we can just become starlight. I am so looking forward to just growing and finally becoming who I am. And I hope that you will carry the same excitement, because it's going to be beautiful. Now, get yourself comfortable, because the time has come for light language. Time has come for us to clear away all that was, all that we are not. And as a very wise man said, what rises, rises to clear. So if you see pains, memories, anything rising during this, it rises not to torment you, it rises to leave. Let it go. Close your eyes. Relax. My wife Shabaraka Roshis committed. Ludarzik Mikot, what Warakamarashi, Siena Maravata, what? Okaradajuno, Naisweta, Nuboka, Kwakari, Nuko, did to Kermakarosh, Koriniki, Sushk, Tarizukuma, Taram, Igenias, what I did, or dirty Arab, go to Matatoshka, Susakamia. Now, why you could quite a huge in the Koramoto, Kunda, Kotakaduna, but to the Matawakiburukum, to Gajkua. Shuka, Runka, Maroto, Majority, Kuama, Norata is near with Mukatako, to what I do to the Nishwashi. No smara, what did Korikama, Deshkisinia, Shukayoja, not a mother origine cake, Kamukayoto, Bajakoradashki, Smara Orate, Tamu, Haina, Juika, Yaturmokoski, so the way you, what animal, I do, you want the Doramaji, what a kisket of the Torata, the Mioto, Kukajikemia, the Sikara, Tawaja, way you know that is yes, Tamaraja, no Sare Deski, Mutamora, why you want out, Yimora, Yotarskinia, says yes. Natima, Madame Nashi, Tarajin Kashi was a new Databashi, to Nuera, I Yamarora Noka, Tajazua, I demurish. Musa, I era diski, Sukanashka, you would as you wish you could as a carrete dodgeka. Tamo, Hayotor, Messiatsiki, Garoto Maraziki, Moasha, Yamarashiski, Torshasa Maralita, and more the Rojo, now Koa diski, Samuradachki. They say you have to empty the dustbin. This is wonderful. You have to empty this dustbin, let all this rubbish go. My tishka shashinya sara torashasmiata. Tatishke zuata. Najishinya. Sarediteja. Nayim. Nidarma de Karashiko. Sisajinia Sabaranamaji. Atiyakamurashinya Sabaraditushke. Samarador Sisi Kierska. Simejojoyin Yamara. Itraka. Honzanjajgeratin. Sinushka. Motoraja, Siechka, Smoraja, Yabaretetku, Kis Karadi, Kuskimoshkiata, Roger Kemaradichki, says Idutashka, Motorima, Yitata, Ite Anya Patatarashi, Naskira Itonova, Torres, Kati, Porotashki, Mewashi, Tasukara, Tessi, Sajara, Yatarasi, Smakoakia, Smorakataka, Tarashi Koshkia, Satais Mashkasa Patarakia, Tamoja de Josha, Sinda Tishkarazo, Marado, Jazz, Tushku Adimia. Tarajis Kumara, Nusarati, Paki Parka, Toresha, Iske, Sitarabito to Pradin Marazi, Malukia, Tazamorasi, Tajaskaya, Tajamasha, Satarkati, Gilkoras and Jas, Washita Shishkisu, too much horror. Messiera diara, Taguko Kamarazi, Metashishka Wasana, Tazisk Metashima. Utsukaragoga, Item Otaji, Kikar, Zimbataroja, Sanduda, Ziteki, Duratishka Murasakarada, Bashkita, Majeto Brashko, Susishka, Mitarama, Isa, Yimarakaragoja, Sadi Jijuko, Mitarama, Ija, Jujutarashi, Messia, Tamu ora Zinakarajukuati, Musamaradi, Tezgara, Timursho. Sonagera, Mitarizuski, Thomas war Adira, Metimaka, Wakim, Amiam da Rumashasi Turushi, Sonajaji, Ratibra, Amiati Garazi, Majurka. Amisiar, Tamara, Tarisiki, Kiorana Takashi, Maja Jajinia, Sabaradipo, Hekia, Ami Ataka, Ekamita Baishko, Satata, Miatabaraka, Yotatashi, Kayakoka, Namie, we Atashi, we Aparado, Dadizki, Siki, Marizumo, Hayatadebi, Hanya Escu, Shanabarati, Amada, Amuda Barajuji, Tanya, Kerasi, Makiata, Tipotaka, Tata Pieta Makata, Tipita Barakato Koski, Messinia. It is just Caramara Dobrasi Dur, Diania. Maribu had Hamma O Caris Kamekatashi, with you. Muhanda that is Jessica, Edisco, Marumosiania, Bettinia Zari the K. Wadin waraze marazi garati kudar ma aki wishkin ya sesia tamor o darijiki mwezia. Marurode arisim haki amoresenia semi osnia hedia maraze makiati kujasetyachi tatush ma wed hatina marake wotashinya simake. Weshia madi marakawarishi yajimo hatim haji kwara simaritku hami horetki jiska masimara rotorji tapati tabaraki mati moradashi amora sinkasia che simarakateshikama hunya siti amarakora parshiki dash usite ya potarasha aridore zikimi hanya warezi media mararakora bade shiki washa masura in kesia. They remind me that so many people throughout time have tried to remind us how incredibly special we are, and that Jesus was one of them. He said, you are made in the image of the Father. You are made in the image of the divine universe. Now, if you are made in that divine image of the universe, how could you be wrong? How could you be anything less than perfection? It was changed. It was all changed in order to make us feel like the sinful, and this was corruption. This was all corruption. You are made in the image of the divine universe, and this is all you need to know. This is it. Maishwara ta deja retetia cara, matiweki make, ta mosisia, timia timodokosia, ta ketipia tikodashatia patata maraka, tamietu shisnia, tikimete, timoka kawichi jukrushkismia, tijasho korazata, ite kewitimodataka, utikidaka, metona dishkisma yashoshuek madoshi, tamus. Odia jera sinya ke zinya sawara. Atuna ke iwatimia, etimia korakashinya. Wesi kurata tanya karashike mesio. Tamu huiji motike, imochukwa, nimotu parakatu korakishiki yashesia. Majuarci, maki odaranya kia umanya, maraishku, tijukushka, skakia tapishka, maja overtiske sam. Hawidia, emati kumana, katakurka, shishkarajka, nana bashista korata, kishkismias, washishkoshka, swarati, matuar motara motora. Awikumara, ishka saja jasinyata, washinya. Motora, mezinja, motodare metekira, katashiki, mashinya, huja hendono, mati kamata, hukatati koshe, simia, swadinchko, marase, metaramo, otamaroko, marakan, warako, ratiko, kamarashkis, was a todos casimia, samarati, petimia korama, nigo, jimara, otaraj, sibishis, yamadoja, metima, nuda, mutaparadora, sitkus, shimia, zera. Utarabajinia, Casea, Indoromari, Cargasia, Metoroda, Giscosinia, Etamorjata, Patagorakaite, Jomarawazi, Metora, Uetim, Koda, Ukarania, Metarama, Etumarama. Motarshiki, Utarshiki, Mushuskiatarasi, Suda, Shika, Maradorama, Edunski, Matarama, Atiraki. Motarj, Zukarasi, Medinia, Maritina, Morca, Alta, Hewa. Mutaraj, tiata, shisia, taradota, tite brake, amo odinske, simeavra. Mutarjiske, situta, ja, sindike, gora dataji. Matoroju, huiti, matuta, kasika, katoroja, sinja, sikere, atis. Mota, genia savaradito marji, ekiataraki. Matoroja, ski, zukara, netbrako, atinjaki, uetita brake, shiateja, tatashikera, tatatashkeza, ratatashkeza, tatatuka. Amudara, zunika, sinyasa, etishkayu, wadaramo, madara, modara, hikara, shukarazim, asi, atoroji, sikaraji, kwara. Meteroju, asi, matoroju, wadinya, medishkesa, matoroju, maswasim. Motarzyskiata, etiuszkoznia, sediczkoznia, mararotarsikiza, trosze, nadzić, ładzić gaza. Matoromo haiti, matoromo retki, nadimia, keresakora. Motarzyłysiki, szykuszaki, siamiatiki, ten dzikore, sikiatrake, szykunake, siki, manokarajiki, sakiatramo, teciszku, sinja, sikira, kokakar, neti, kumara, kuka, zikio, tora, nieszki. Motarzył sujkeza, ziodata nomorada, jesiki, gora, samarada, nasiwa, szar, nekiasa morazi. Mutarsikizgara, Edamaraja Wadi, Mutaraja Maratia. Just sit for a moment with what you feel. Allow yourself to be who you are right now. Allow whatever chooses to arise, to leave, let it leave. Ask the archangels to come in and take away what has arisen. You don't need it. You can leave, allow those ties that have kept you small to be torn, to be burned away. Release and feel yourself expand in size. Feel your soul, fill your body. Feel empowered. Be all that you are. When you feel ready, take a deep breath in and fill your lungs with new light, with new air, with movement. And release the old. And another breath in of new life, of new possibility, of new earth. Thank you, Lorraine. It was beautiful. Slightly weird, but beautiful. And as you go about your day, be true to yourself, whoever you are. Whoever you are now, be true to that. And if you don't know, it's fine. Then just be. Now, it's nearly time to end. And I thank you so much for being here today. So much for bringing your love and light support to me as a channel. You feel rock solid in love right now. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And the last thing I want to let you know about is a change. As you probably know, I accept donations for these free light language events. And I suddenly realised that this wasn't about me, and that any donations that are given will go towards providing a healing session for somebody who can't afford it, but who needs it. Because community is how we grow, and we need to support each other. So there's a link at the bottom of the event page to PayPal, I believe, or I'll post it again. And if you wish to offer a donation, it will go towards giving somebody the healing that they need right now. So however big or small, anything is more than welcome, so that we can help those who are in a less fortunate place than we are. So thank you very much. And I'm not sure, I think I might be around. I'll be back. I'm going on holiday, need another one. But I am sure I'll be back for the next full moon. And I look forward to seeing you there. And if you're not on my page, sign up to it, then you'll get all notifications about what's coming. And thank you again for being here. And I send you rock solid love. I send you stability and air to breathe and new life. And I send you loads and loads of love. Bye-bye.